Hi guys, welcome back to Skincare Anarchy. This is your host Ekta, and today I have an awesome guest once again. I am sure you have heard about this brand, especially with how COVID has been, and there's just been so much out there that's there for hygiene and stuff. So, anyways, without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to Andrea Lisbona, who is the founder of Touchland. And Touchland is known for their hand sanitizers. So, welcome to the show, Andrea. I'm so happy and honored to host you.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. I would love to get started and learn about your journey and how did you come to a decision that you wanted to start a hand sanitizer line?
So it started when I was 24 years old in 2010.
Hmm.
I've always been a great admirer of innovators such as like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk and companies like Nespresso or Dyson that truly have reinvented categories that were completely forgotten and making habits easier and easier to use and smarter to use.
Yeah.
In regards of hand hygiene, at the end of the day, the easiest way to stay healthy is to keep your hands clean. That's that simple. 80% of infectious diseases are spread through hands. So when you're on the go, you're traveling, you're out having dinner with friends, most of the time you don't have water and soap available. So truly hand sanitizers become your best ally on the go. And in
Right.
2010, I wanted to start my own project, and I realized that the hand sanitizer business was commoditized, antiquated, stale. Everything on the market delivers a very unpleasant experience. We all know that most of them smell like tequila and vodka. They crack your
Yes.
skin. It's very sticky. So we said,
Yeah.
of course, people don't want to sanitize their hands. Like if we would create a product that it's actually funny to use and great to use, people would sanitize their hands more often.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why we started. And I think the name of the brand says it, it's the land of touch, Touchland. And what we wanted to do is just like empower people's connections, like human connection, and have people live fearlessly, curiously, passionately, but not recklessly. And
Yeah.
that's what we wanted to do, create smart solutions that make you go through life healthy and happy.
That's amazing. And I know that, especially with everything that's happened with COVID, it's like, I'm not gonna state the obvious, but it's been something that is a huge need, in the market, in the industry. And I think that, I can honestly say as someone who's in the hospital a lot, when you're using a hand sanitizer, it starts getting sticky, like you said, and it builds up. So that's one thing I
Yeah,
really love about your products. And it's really about not just about hygiene. I think it's more so also about you want to feel like you're taking care of your hands, especially
yeah,
like medical professionals, for example. We're constantly washing our hands,
exactly.
constantly sanitizing. Yeah, so I love that. I really love that. I love that you even came out with this before COVID, because I know a lot of people were like, well, there are all these new hand sanitizer
Yes.
companies, you know what I mean, with COVID. So
We were pretty alone before COVID, and at the end of the day, as you said, we wanted to create a formulation that was skin forward, that not only meets the kills 99.9% of the germs, but at the same time you don't have to sacrifice your skin. And so that's why we created our formula that hydrates, softens, it's vegan, cruelty free, paraben free, gluten free. So truly through that skincare speech rather than the lenses of traditional hygiene products.
yeah, and that's it's actually wonderful that you have that hydration aspect in there. So can you tell me a little bit about when you were formulating your products, like because I know that hand sanitizer obviously has to have very strong bactericidal, very strong like components in it, like alcohol is used very often. So like when you were approaching this, and we know that alcohol dries out the skin, so like what were some of the things you had to like put forward to the lab so that you could create your products the way you wanted?
Yes, so in regards of that, as you said, like as the FDA states and the CDC states, hand sanitizers have to have between 60 and 70% alcohol. That's the
Yeah.
recommended. So knowing that we had to start from there, I think the goal for the formula was first of all simplicity. When you take a label of hand sanitizers, you have like 30, 40 ingredients that sounds like very chemical. You don't know what you're putting into skin. So our approach was completely the opposite. We wanted to create a formula that was very simplistic, we were selecting consciously ingredients that met one specific functionality. So we use lemon essential oil, lime essential oil, we use radish root ferment filtrate, we use aloe vera, we use like all sorts of ingredients. Most of them are natural to
Yeah.
kind of like balance that dehydration from alcohol and actually empower hydration.
Yeah.
We were actually the first and only hand sanitizer to be awarded with an Allure Best of Beauty, because like people that use Touchland truly says it's not just about sanitizing, it's just my hands feels better and it feels velvet soft after you use it.
Yeah.
So that was the goal. And when we did develop the formula, it was a lot of back and forth, like a little bit more of this, a little bit less than this, because most of the ingredients that are hydrating are very sticky. So we were like trying to balance like experience with performance with quality, so we
Yeah.
could get the perfect balance.
Yeah, and I think you've definitely achieved it, and I completely agree with
Thank you.
Recommendation because yeah, your hand sanitizers, I've been using them every day. I have one in my, my white coat pocket when
Thank
I
you.
go to work. So it's a wonderful, wonderful product. And I think, for me also, I'm not gonna lie, I love aesthetics, when it comes to brands. I think that's a very important factor in us being able
Hmm.
to, stick to a routine and use a product daily. So how did you design the packaging? Because the packaging is phenomenal. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, so the packaging, it was actually designed first in 2014. We invested a lot in patents on design, and thank God we did, because last year we experienced more than 2,000 patent infringements. So we
Oh,
spent a lot of time enforcing our patents and everything. And we wanted to create, I think, like from the form factor, something that was not like that goopy gel experience. It seems like you're applying ketchup in your hands. So we created a
yeah.
mister. And then we did something very sleek, something that can fit into everyone's pocket, doesn't is for everyone. So we didn't want to create like a round sphere bottle or something that it's hard to put in your pocket. So that's when we designed the bottle of Power Mist, which is very unique and iconic for the brand.
Yeah, it's a beautiful design, and I think, it just fits very well, like you said, in your pocket, and it almost feels like a little miniature phone. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
right there. Yeah. I love it.
exactly.
And I honestly, Andrea, I'm not gonna lie, I think it's absolutely brilliant what you've done because, again, with the COVID thing, having children and like young adults and, people really get behind this idea of, regularly sanitize your hands, make sure you're using your hand sanitizer like this many times a day. Like that is a very hard thing to make, kids and young adults do. So by creating something that's so fashionable and so you want to use the product, you want to, reach for it. That's really brilliant. So I love that.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. I think that was one of our goals. Like hygiene habits, like most of the brands, they do it through educational and all that. But we realized that the best way to enable people to engage more and empower them more to use the product is to build something that they look forward to use. And that has been kind of like the viral coefficient for us. Like everyone that buys the product, they come to us and they say, I convert all my family and friends into Touchland, because they
Yes.
have the need to say, why are you living 100 years away? Like you have to level up and modernize and your hand sanitizer game.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, I am one of those people. I'm not gonna lie. I've, shared it with all my friends, my colleagues,
Thank you.
my family. So, yeah, no, I mean, I think it's brilliant. And I actually I want to talk to you about the some of the challenges or some of the, hurdles you might have faced when COVID began. Were there changes to your company, and just your approach and everything? Can you share any of that with us?
Yeah, so when we started in 2010, we actually experienced something similar with the swine flu. So we knew what was going to happen. We knew that there was going to be an amount of new hand sanitizers just opportunistically launching into the market to monetize on a pandemic. And at the end of the day, we started this for like a long-term vision and everything. So we focus on staying true to our values. We actually took the decision, although we were sold out most of the time because we couldn't keep up with the demand that we had, and we had a lot of challenges. We decided that for every container that we're receiving, we were dedicating 5% to send to frontline workers, because
Oh,
at the end of the day, we had a product that truly could help during a very fearful time and tough time. And so at the end of the day, some companies would have said, no, let's just like try to sell everything that we have. And we want to build a company that is a powerhouse brand that goes beyond the pandemic. We never started for a pandemic, and we wanted to build something that is part of everyone's life.
Yeah.
And I think for us, it was basically thinking long term, making sure that we stay true to our values, that we hire smart, that we grow smart and responsibly, because I think like it was like the fever of gold. People went crazy, and we got approached by a lot of investors, and it's like, don't leave any money on the table. And at the end of the day, for us, we were building a product for like a very different reason, and to be
Yeah.
part of like brushing your teeth, like part of your daily routine. So that's why we were thinking medium long term the whole time, and really trying to give our grain of sand, to fight this crazy time that we have lived.
Yeah, and I love that you said that because, it makes me think of, in any medical profession, we are required to take an oath, and that oath is for ethics, for ethical
Yeah,
reasons. And,
exactly.
and it's not about money. It's not about, what
No,
can we get immediately. And your brand is exactly echoing the morals and the ethics of these healthcare workers such as us. And that's beautiful. You know what I mean? And
thank
that's
you.
something that is of value and of great importance to recognize because yeah, you don't always need an incentive to do something that's good, for the
Yeah,
long term. Yeah.
yeah, and
So
there's like people that sell their values over money, and I think that's not who we are. And we
yeah,
may take longer to get where we want to be, but we will get there, and with values and authenticity.
absolutely. I absolutely really love that. And everyone listening, I hope that you have hand sanitizer with you at all times. But if you do not, you definitely, I mean, Touchland is the way to go for that
Thank you.
because I mean, you're seriously like your product is wonderful. I love the story. That's the main reason I have my podcast, right? I love hearing the amazing stories of the founders behind these brands, but I mean, more importantly, you're doing something so wonderful for society and it's much more important than just, oh, it's a brand or it's a, it's
It's
not
a
like that.
business. Yeah,
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 yeah, exactly. So, I want to actually ask you, Andrea, what are some of the things that, like in I know with like hand care, it's like a whole different area of dermatology. So like when you were formulating and coming up with your concept, did you have to consult any dermatologists or anything? Or
yeah.
yeah,
Yes. Everything that we do patch testing. It's dermatologist tested.
yeah,
Actually, our formula, we have a lot of people with sensitive skin that they say, I've never tried a hand sanitizer that it's better for my skin. But because they get irritated with some formulations, and ours, it's actually very, very good for sensitive skin. And yeah, we make all of the patch testing to ensure our formulas are safe for all sorts of skin.
that's awesome. That's awesome. And what are some feedback that you've gotten from like, frontline workers and stuff? I'm sure they've reached out.
Well, of course, like I think, like as you were saying, like for example, like medical and healthcare professionals, like people that have to use this on like daily basis, like 30 times a day. You can imagine with
Yeah.
product that is like dehydrating. They had to, most of the nurses that we talked to, they said, I have to carry on my left pocket my hand sanitizer, and on my right pocket I have to have my hand cream. So I think like for us it's really great to hear like finally like healthcare professionals saying, I don't have to carry hand cream anymore. Like this really feels good on my skin. Other feedbacks that I love is when we have moms coming to us and saying, I had to chase my kids to sanitize their hands, and now they come to me begging me to spray their hands.
Yeah.
So I think like this sort of feedback really is the best reward, because it's really hard to build a product that people love. And
Yeah.
I always say, like when we moved to the US in 2018 and we launched with a Kickstarter campaign that was fully funded, and we have been building this community that has pushed the brand to where it is. It's the American dream. I always say
Yeah.
that I would have never expected this reception and this love, that it's a product that was built for people, and people has been the one that have been pushing the brand forward.
Yeah, the people have spoken. That's beautiful. I love that. And that's so important, I think, for brands, having an organic growth and organic
Yeah.
recognition, So I really congratulate you on that. It's very well deserved. And honestly, I would love to see Touchland instead of Purell in all of the hospitals.
I
Like
hope so too.
I'm just saying that now because I know those, you know, because we have those like dispensers by every patient room, and it's like, man, you know, your hands get so dried out. So I would love to see Touchland, you know, in the hospital. It
Yeah,
would be really cool.
w-
Um,
we have our dispensers in a lot of businesses, like from like Equinox and Joe and the Juice and Sweet Green and Standard Hotels, like businesses that could have gone to any brand, and they said it like, we want to have a hand sanitizer that talks the same values that we have, and they opted into Touchland and they give it to their guests and their staff and everything. So also the commercial experience for us with the dispenser has been incredible.
that's awesome. And you know, I'm gonna ask this because I'm really you know, I'm very new to the area of or this topic, and I'm wondering because I'm sure, you know, as a founder, you get a lot of questions about things like, you know, what do you call it, sustainability and all these like, you know, buzzwords, right, in the industry.
Yeah.
Like, how do you approach sustainability
So
from your brand?
yes. So in regards of that, so our product lasts 10 times longer than
Mhm.
a regular bottle of gel. So for every 10 bottles of gel, you only use one Touchland. Right now, we are not offering refillable bottles because there's a risk of cross contamination. Whenever you refill hand soap containers or hand sanitizer containers, there's a risk of cross contamination, and we want to make sure that we don't get into risk for this kind of issue. But we're working to create like a refillable solution that solves the cross contamination risk,
Yeah.
and hopefully we can launch it into the market in 2022.
Oh, I would love to see that. Yeah, I mean, you know, if there's anyone listening who's on the board for a hospital, please reach out to Andrea. I would love to see her products in like big New York hospitals or just places that are so busy, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so, you know, I want to ask you a little bit more about the consumer side because, you know, you mentioned that it's a very you know, people supported company, and I absolutely love that. When did you start seeing a real spike in the support that you were getting? Was there like a moment that was like a turning point for the brand, or how did that work?
It's been, I always say it's like a recipe. It's not one moment. I think like we don't have that aha moment where like everything went crazy. For us, since we launched in the US, has been a really great viral coefficient since we launched with Kickstarter campaign. We experienced a lot of support from like the social media community. We have never paid to play. We have never paid to have people promoting the product. It has been purely organic, and it has gone very fast because at the end of the day, we launched in December 2018. So it's not even been 3 years, but
Yeah.
it has been like last year only we had 32 billion media impressions. We've had tons of celebrities promoting organically the product because they truly like the product and they are willing to pay for it. And I think that's how for a startup it makes everything easier,
Yeah.
because it's really hard to get visibility and awareness if you have to pay for it. And for us, it's been putting the product in the market, and then the buzz, the people, social media. We've been many times viral on TikTok with videos that hit 4 or 5 million views, that were like
Wow.
organic videos. So it's been a responsible, sustainable growth for us. It's not been like one peak that really made the difference. It's been all over, like putting more product in the market and seeing the brand growing more.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. I mean, that makes sense. I think if you're a truly a solid company and you have a good foundation, then yeah, you know, it's you're gonna see growth all the time, and you know, it's gonna be a long process. So that's you know, I just had to ask because I was curious, but that's cool.
It's a
Um,
constant work. Like I think like if you're waiting for like that short-term moment that it's gonna pop yourself, I'm concerned because like that goes up and goes down like a rising star. We want to make sure that we can continue sustainably growing, and we have experienced that from the very beginning. I think like the love has continued to grow, the following has continued to grow, and of course like certain press hits have given us amazing visibility. Or when we go into television, Good Morning America, Today Show,
yeah,
yes, like of course it goes crazy. But I think it's been a very constant growth. Like it's been a lot of press hits, a lot of influencer support, a lot of celebrity support, and all that.
I love that. That's good. It's very well deserved. It's a
Thank you.
beautiful line, beautiful brand. I love what you're doing. I think this is truly, amazing, brilliant work. So, keep on. And I wish you nothing but the best. I hope everyone listening out there, I hope you have a bottle of Touchland hand sanitizer in your pocket. If you have not, then I want you to go check out the brand and really, just spend some time doing your homework because, hand sanitizer is more than just alcohol and some bactericidal stuff. There's a lot of work that goes behind it. So
Yeah,
I love that.
our tagline actually is keys, wallet, phone, Touchland. It's like nowadays hand sanitizer should be next to your keys. It should be an element that helps you go outside and have fun without concerns. And we're very excited because we're going to launch next week in collaboration with Givaudan, which is one of the best perfume houses, a new
Ooh.
collection. We haven't dropped any scents since launch because we've been very busy. So this is going to be the first time that we're releasing 12 scents at the same time
Wow.
since
Oh my
launch.
gosh.
And they are amazing. They are truly amazing. They are like perfume oriented hand sanitizers with like different notes in each fragrance, and it truly elevates you to something more than just like people spray it and they're like, I feel like I'm in Bali drinking a piña colada, and it's just
Oh,
what we wanted to achieve.
that's so cool. I love that. That really goes hand in hand with like COVID once again because people have been, locked in their homes for so long. So it's so nice to bring that, that little touch into everyone's world. I love that. That's
Thank
really,
you.
really cool. And congratulations. That's really exciting. I can't wait to see all the new scents and that, was there any hurdles when you were combining perfumery with this or in terms of formulation, or was that pretty easy?
It was not hard, and we've worked with Givaudan, which are experts in that matter. So we want to always partner with people that really know what they're doing, and they came up with like amazing scents for us that are 10 times better than what is in the market for 2 years. So I cannot wait for people to start giving us reviews for the newest scents.
Oh wow, yeah. I know I will be the first to leave a review. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's going to be fantastic. I can't wait to see it. And everyone listening, I hope you have learned a lot from this episode. I'm so honored, Andrea, that you came onto the show to share your
No, thank you
vision.
for
And
inviting me.
yeah, no, it's my true honor, and I love what you're doing, and I can't wait to see what's next for the brand. So, I'd love to have you
Thank
on
you.
again. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you for having me.